Hey everyone. Okay, this is my first live test. I don't know if anybody is even watching, but I'm just going to go try. Oh, somebody's watching. That's really good. Hey Tarun. I live in East City. Okay, so today I don't want to spend a lot of time. This is my first broadcast, so I just wanted to test if I can do streaming. I want to do more streaming. The first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I've been wanting to talk, but I don't have either time or like to make a dedicated video. But during this, I would love to have like a community vibe. I don't have a Discord. I don't have a school. I didn't create a school, so I thought maybe like live stream is like easier for us to talk. And there are like we can have a chat, like maybe like a casual chat, and also discuss something technical. So thanks. Hey guys, like, oh, Canada, Germany, India, so we have got already 3 different cities. That's very nice to know. Welcome, Thomas. Viewpoints Vortex. The first thing that I want to discuss today is about ModernBERT. I don't know how many of you actually saw this announcement. And for those who do not know, I also have been working as a data scientist for quite a while. And part of my job is to do a lot of natural language processing. And one of the things that we do when we do natural language processing is, like, for example, simply we build a text classifier. So if there is an incoming ticket from customer coming, so we want to just categorize the ticket, whether let's say it's a high priority ticket or a low priority ticket. And typically in the industry, 5-6 years before, people were using something like XGBoost. Take the text, convert into tokens, use the tokens, set a fixed dimension, use something like XGBoost or random forest, and then predict it. But then with BERT as a model from Google, things changed completely. So people started using BERT. People started fine-tuning BERT model, and then there are a lot of different variants of BERT, like RoBeta, one from I think Meta. I think it's called XLA-BERT, I guess. So there are these models. But that ecosystem never evolved, irrespective of how much large language models evolved. This ecosystem never evolved. Thank you, Tarun, to celebrate the first super. Thank you. So that ecosystem of having a good model, not an LLM in this case, or in this case we should say like encoder decoder model, not like a decoder only model, not a model that is an auto regressive model like ChatGPT. So okay, Tarun, just for your information, we are going to restart PyData in Bangalore. So most likely we'll have first meetup in January. So I'm one of the co-organizers. Just trying to see if we can do the meetup. On meetup page, you can search for PyData Bangalore, and then mostly there'll be like a placeholder meetup schedule. So you can probably take a look at it. Okay. Hey, somebody new. Okay. So what the bunch of nice folks from XFast AI. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Howard. And they started a new company called Answer.ai. Hey, nice to see you as well. And they released actually something called ModernBERT. So ModernBERT is basically the 2024. This I think came a couple of weeks before. 2024's answer to what BERT as an ecosystem existed. And a few months back, even like I was using, I think RoBeta or DBeta, either of these models, to build a bunch of classifiers, compare the model, and then see how the model is doing. So these models really make a lot of difference in an enterprise setup, and they've got a lot of use cases, not just LLMs. I mean, on this particular channel, I primarily speak about LLMs, but if you have seen, like, I've been making videos for the last 4 years, I guess, probably like 5 years is going to become. And initially it was all about like the classical data science stuff like R, Python, make charts, this library. So that ecosystem still exists, and it's not like really catered a lot. And this new library or the model, which is called ModernBERT, basically addresses all those things. So if you go here and then see this, you can see the runtime, which is like how long the model is going to take, and then you've got the score. So ModernBERT is basically a lightweight BERT that is going to help you really like to do any classical NLP task, which we primarily call as the downstream NLP task. Like for example, summarization, you want to do classification, NER, named entity recognition, and a bunch of other things. So this chart, if you see here, it basically compares all the popular BERT family of models. You've got BERT, you've got RawBeta, you've got DBeta. I've never used nomic BERT, but these three like I've quite extensively used. In fact, if you go to Kaggle and then if you see something like Cora duplicate classification, Cora duplicate class, I think duplicate Kaggle. So there are like a lot of these competitions. Like if you go to Kaggle, probably like 3 years before, most of the top solutions were primarily RawBeta, DBeta based models. So if you go to code and if you see most likely the highest public score. So there is XGBoost. Maybe this is like probably too old. 8 years ago. Yeah. So then I can understand. So most of these competitions used BERT based models, and it's one of the successful ways to create these kind of NLP solutions. So you've got all these models and then they compare it with ModernBERT. And you can see that there are two variants. One is the base variant, the other one is the large variant, which is very typical with a lot of these models. And you can see ModernBERT really doing good score across the board, like for a lot of different tasks. I think IR is information retrieval, NLU stands for natural language understanding. And without going into the benchmarks, you can see like ModernBERT is doing well. So if any of you are trying to build, let's say a simple classifier, could be like a simple binary classification like positive, negative, high, low, or it could be multi-class classification, or it could be you want to, let's say, do something for enterprise like ticket classification, ticket routing, and all these things, then ideally you should try ModernBERT. And I think starting today or probably yesterday, depending upon where you live, you have got ModernBERT integrated with transformers. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that Hugging Face did this, and you should definitely use. So before that, let's look at a couple of comments. I'm really happy. And can you do a Kaggle tutorial how to run Comfy UI? See, the problem with Kaggle and also Google Colab, because it's owned by Google as a company. Kaggle was acquired by Google a few years back. And both Colab and Google, Kaggle, they are very much against running any UI based system inside Kaggle because people were even mining bitcoins like cryptocurrencies a while back. I don't know if mentioning this I'll get a lot of spam, I don't know. But the point here is that probably like one and a half years back, even on Colab, there was issue with Gradio. Then it became like a huge issue. So people started, a Colab team started letting people use Gradio. And it was a bigger issue when, I don't know how many of you here are old enough to remember, there was a UI called Auto 1111. This is one of the most popular Auto 1111. This is one of the most popular UI for Stable Diffusion when Stable Diffusion was popular. I would have probably made a lot of tutorials. Even Google Colab banned it from using it. So this is like father of Comfy UI at this point. So can I run Comfy UI on Kaggle? Maybe we can try, but I would say like most likely Kaggle will either ban your account or stop you from using it. This is my perception. So, but I would say you can strongly use Kaggle for fine tuning your dataset. That's like very much a thing. And you can use a lot of dataset that is already available there. So it's fun. Comfy UI, I'll give it a try. Harris, yeah, I've seen a couple of your comments. Thank you so much for the support. I would join, but I have to go pray. But I'll add you in LinkedIn. Thanks for all the work you do. Thanks, Harris. Thanks for showing up. And where do you live, Harris? I don't know if you still because where I live, it's almost going to be like 2 a.m. So because you said you have to go pray, so it's interesting. Where do you live? How does 11 Labs like multilingual voice cloning work? Speak in English, get the output in Spanish with the same voice. Not seen any. There are like a lot of open source models. In fact, Suno as the company before becoming before Suno became like a company that does music. Suno actually started with something called Suno Bark. Probably I would have a tutorial. I mean, a lot of times YouTube algorithm doesn't bless my videos, so you wouldn't get to see it. But this is one of the, see, it's May 2023. At this point, like 1 year at least old, almost. And this was like Bark is licensed under MIT, and you can do, I think, decent like voice cloning. I would say voice cloning. Yeah. So there are like different ways you can do that. So Suno as a company started something with this, and there are a lot of other solutions. I think somebody recently on the comment pointed out. So F2 TTS, I guess, one little coder, maybe E2 F5, sorry, E2 F5 TTS, F6. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this video, if you see mine, this is arguably I think in this video I did like two. One is the local setup also. One is like the setup where you have got this is arguably within Gradio. So this is a good voice cloning system if you were to use it. And if you're on Mac, you can go to this website. I'm not sure if Cocktail Peanut. Yeah, so Cocktail Peanut. So if you go to this website, you can basically install something called Pika. Just forgetting a lot of things. Pika. Yeah, Pinocchio, sorry. The nose guy. So you can basically install this. This is like an app store, and there are like a lot of different things that you can install. And one of the things is like the voice cloning system that completely works locally. So you can actually try that out and then do that thing. Now, about 11 Labs, there are like a lot of different ways. So these are like the open source architecture. I guess Microsoft actually had a very popular Microsoft voice TTS architecture. I forgot the name. Probably I might have one of the older videos. So Microsoft had a very famous architecture. I think since then, like people started creating these kind of things. So open source architectures actually work. It's just that the models are not amazingly good because these things are like computationally expensive. And it's a conversation I had with somebody recently. One of the reasons why you see a lot of large language models is because you don't have to fight a lot of copyright cases in text, because text is like you can scrape. I think there is like a US court that has said that you can scrape text, legal, not like illegal, but it depends where you are in the region. But voice is totally different. You know what happened with OpenAI when they launched Sky as a voice, and I think Kokoro has a Sky version. Somebody mentioned Kokoro. So if you're playing with Kokoro, you might actually see a Sky version, but otherwise voice is like very critical, easy to be flagged with copyright cases. Data is very expensive, compute is very expensive, the incentive is very low. You will see like very less number of companies doing it. I think 11 Labs today, they announced that there is going to be a Sylvester Stallone, the Rocky hero. So his movie, they're going to do like dubbing using 11 Labs. So it's very hard to make it up. And if you see a very new player in that particular space is like Cartesia, they're coming up with a totally different approach. So generally, it's high technical, highly competitive to acquire data set. The architectures exist. Even if I remember correctly, Facebook had an architecture. I might have made a video about it. XLR audio. Let's see. I don't remember. I can probably get back. So Facebook Meta had an architecture, Meta audio TTS architecture. Not Seamless. Seamless is the latest one, but before that, Facebook had something. So I forgot the name. So there are architectures existing, but for you to create that model, it's computationally expensive. So that's a simpler answer. And the incentive is less unless until like you are backed by really good venture capitalists. Otherwise, it's very. Peter, thanks for joining. I'm excited about the TTS you introduced at I hope you have the time and interest to create. Yeah, honestly, like that's one thing that I'm checking already. I will be waiting for a couple of days, maybe to see if these guys can add it. But otherwise, I don't have an Nvidia GPU. I just have a Mac machine with 36 GB RAM. So I have to figure out if I can fit it in this. Otherwise, what I would probably do is the easiest thing is I would like rent a small machine and run pod, and then I can put together a tutorial on how you can use the TTS locally. So you can create like your own VM and then use it where. But Peter, thank you so much for joining. Gonzalo, hello. Viewpoints Vortex takes large scale tokens. Encoder, very cool. Did you try Fish Audio? Yes, I probably might have the video with older Fish model. The latest Fish model actually comes with CC by NC SA license. So if you go to the TTS arena, or maybe like if I just go to Hugging Face, so the latest Fish model, which is actually really good, but it is not commercially available. So one of the things, like I make videos about all kind of models, but sometimes with TTS, I'm very particular because a lot of people who watch these videos, they want to use it in their business. I don't want like them dealing with, lawsuit or all these things. So that is one thing that I have to always keep in mind. So this one comes with CC by NCSA license, which means you can use it for free, but you cannot use it for commercial purpose. So if you happen to create an audiobook based on this company, this model, there is a possibility that they can sue you. So I didn't want to, I might make a video about it, but that is the reason like I completely skipped fish. And when Kokoro came like yesterday, I decided to make a video about it. So that's, yeah, but fish I've used it. It's pretty good. Thank you. Hey, I think in France you say bonjour. One of the things that I tried in the latest model is bonjour. So can you do AI startups idea? I want to do. In fact, I want to actually get somebody who can do ideas. I'm trying to do. I used to do. I think you would have probably seen like my podcast series before. I got like people who did research, publishing papers, and then discuss like Kaggle solutions. So I want to probably do. It's a matter of time, and my life is generally not very free, so it's a matter of time finding people and then doing it. But I want to do ideas. Like I don't know if you know this guy, but if you're not following my channel also, at least you should check out this guy. His name is Greg Eisenberg. He brings in a lot of really good people. Forget about the thumbnail that is like a bit clickbaity, but it actually has like a lot of good substance. Like this is one of the podcasts like I listen a lot of times. It's not like I'm building a startup actively, but you can actually go see that he has solid content and he brings in a lot of good guests. So if you want a startup idea, you should definitely go watch Greg Eisenberg. And there was a video I tried following. He kind of tried launching. Yeah, Comfy UI actually works with Collab. But the thing is, it's a problem. Like what kind of repercussion you will have. Harris, thank you so much. I think it's called super chat. I don't know what is it called. Like when you send money through this, and yeah. So yeah, I've been in the field. Like one of the reason like my channel started picking up after people started calling it AI is because I've been making videos about models even before people called it AI, and naturally that kind of like helped. I don't know. Somebody Skitter Unibro from Clearwater Beach. Is it like FLS Florida? I don't know. Harris, you live in Minnesota. I don't know like how far is Minnesota from Los Angeles, but yeah, it means to be honest, like when I was making video today morning or yesterday, it was quite sad to see like the fire and all the things. It's very far. It's 28 hours. Okay. Yeah, so I hope like people who live in US, they're all safe. The videos that I at least found on Twitter, they were like quite depressing, and the fire was like quite bad. So I hope yeah, you all are safe. Hey man, I really like your content. What's your name? My name is Abdul Majid. Yeah, I'm from India. E2 TTS, F5 TTS. Sunil, that's a thing. Anas Sunil, thank you for joining. There was a new CPU based TTS. I think one of the comment I even mentioned that probably I might have made a video. It's called Backaloon, I guess. Backaloon. Yes. So this is honestly like one of the fastest TTS that I've seen on CPU. So you don't need GPU for this. I don't know if you can hear if I do anything. They've got a bunch of different models. The voice is very, let's say, robotic, like typical TTS. Like I don't know how many of you have used AWS Poly. If you've used AWS Poly for converting any text into audiobook, so you would like probably find this voice something like this. But it's good. What do I say? Hey everyone, thanks for joining my first live stream. Okay, generated, and this is running on CPU. As you can see here, it is not GPU, and it does a pretty good job for CPU, and it is done already.
Hey everyone. Thanks for joining my first live stream.
Yeah, it's probably a different accent, but it does a pretty good job. So if you want to do it on CPU, you can do it. Skitter B Unibro is asking me, are you going to buy a digits 1L? So I assume maybe you're in India. I don't know. I don't know if 1L is like version number. Digits is like very much, I guess at this point, like a prototype. I think it will take a lot of time for it to come. And yeah, so I don't know if I'll buy, and hopefully we'll see when it comes. And the claims are really huge. Like for example, they're saying you can run a 200 billion parameter model at FP16 or something like that. So it's 128 GB unified memory, and with the acceleration that Nvidia provides, it's going to be extremely fast. But to be honest, like one of the things that I do, like before I purchase this machine, one of the things that I also try to keep in mind is like not everybody has the liberty to keep that kind of machine with them. So a lot of times when I make video, I try to make video where people don't have to spend a lot of money, few hundred, like few dollars. Like if you see my fall tutorial, the end of the tutorial you will have like $2 spent. If you see my run for tutorial, at the end of the tutorial you would have spent like $2 or $3. I mean, like that's something that I keep in mind. Maybe things will change, like yeah, but for now, even if I get digits, maybe we'll see. But it's one of the content philosophy that I've got. Hi bro, looking for a LangChain support for the latest Gemini Flash. Yeah, I think one ecosystem that I've been Daitullah, thank you so much for the comment. One ecosystem I've been trying to get into is like LangGraph. So probably I hope, yeah, God willing, I'll have some kind of a LangGraph tutorial very soon, and some business use cases as well. So I'm hoping to do it. Like I've got like starting today, I've got some free time for the next couple of few weeks. I would say 2 to 3 weeks. So but yeah, like I said previously in the chat, like I'm trying to organize Pi Data meetup in Bangalore. So it's going to take a lot of time, but otherwise I'm going to try do some LangGraph stuff. Can't you morph two voices together and create a new voice? Probably you should be able to. I mean, this always reminds me of like how Kaggle went crazy when model merging, model stacking as a concept came together. There should be something. I've seen people using a stephograph. Is it called stephograph? I forgot the name. Steganograph. Okay, so one of the things that people did quite a while back was to use image models, and try to make the image. So instead of training an audio model, use the image model, fine tune on the steganograph, like which shows like how the audio is. And then on top of that, people did a lot of things. In fact, like probably Suno is doing that. So you can always try, like take two steganograph, merge it, and then see how the final output is. I've not tried it, but that's possibly something you can do. What if we clone someone's voice and then make dozens of layer more by using the last custom version? I guess most likely if you want a voice similar to theirs, you will get caught. That's obviously the point. Would it be still in the... See, honestly, at this point, like copyrights is like kind of dicey with the AI world. I don't know how many of you knew this news yesterday or day before yesterday that Getty and Shutterstock announced a merger. I mean, can you believe it? It's like Apple and Microsoft, announcing a merger. Two of the biggest stock photography companies are deciding to combine and then fight. Because at this point, like I know a lot of people who were using stock photography. They don't use stock photography at this point. Like, why do you need stock photography? Like, we are paying $20 for ChatGPT, which is ChatGPT Plus, with $23 including taxes. You can generate images, like, or you can generate flux images. Like, in fact, like if you go to Hugging Face, you would most likely find a space where flux is running. Maybe you have to be on a queue or something, but flux is running. So a stock photography is required. Like for example, a president is giving a talk, a cricket player is playing, you want to take a photo and then use it, it's required. But you can see like the fact that Getty and Shutterstock has merged, it shows that the industry has taken a hit. The new model Coco he showcased as some kind of dual voice mode. Okay, I'm not sure how it works. Okay, cool. Okay, USA, I would let you live in a room in my house if you help me develop an idea for an AI app. Yeah, I don't have a US visa, so I can't live in your room anyways. But I will. One of my intention of driving this channel is, so basically when I started this channel, it was like developer marketing for open source libraries. Now, naturally, the channel has evolved. Like even though it's not like I've got like hundreds and thousands of subscribers, but the channel's approach has evolved. So the next direction I want to go is like, for example, if somebody like me I've got like more than a decade of work experience. Somebody has a full-time job, they want to like start something in the side, they want to nurture it and grow it as a business, make a few $100s a month. I think that is the direction that I want to go towards. Use cases, product building, and that's why you would have seen like a bunch of my, let's say, replicate agent videos, or even there was a sponsored with an agent marketplace on demand which gave you like $150. The direction is primarily towards like how can I make my audience earn some money while I can also earn some money. And so hopefully more AI ideas. Definitely, like we can build solutions. Cool. Hey Abdul, what are your thoughts about quantum computing for the next year? See, honestly, like my knowledge about quantum computing is it's very, 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 very slim. I was planning to make a video about Google's recent claim about their quantum computing, the quantum leap, how they solved the problem. But there was a lot of commentary on that as well. Like the Google got like good PR, stock price increase, and all those things. But there was a commentary about how the problem that they picked is like literally something that nobody cares. It's very hard to reproduce. So I think quantum computing as a field itself is evolving. And it is nowhere like it's about the qubit thing, like the Google qubit thing. If I can probably find the article, Google qubit, the latest one. Yeah, Willow. So the state of the art. I don't know if I made a video, I don't remember exactly, but it had a lot of controversies as well. So as much as good PR that they got a lot of controversy as well. So quantum computing as a field, it is evolving. I don't have particularly a lot of knowledge about quantum computing per se. Something that if it is growing, I would love to learn more. But I don't know how much YouTube you watch, but huge if true, there's a channel, and in that, one of my favorite YouTubers like MKBHD and this YouTuber like Cleo, so they actually go visit quantum computers and do a bunch of things. It's a 17-minute video, but a very cool video. Like a lot of people don't even know how quantum computer looks like, so it's a very cool video if you want to spend some time watching it. Okay, this is Pranay, like all your videos. Hello from Bay Area. Thanks Pranay for joining. Would love to see more agentic. Okay, would love to see more agentic videos. Can you rank them once you get a chance? See, when you say rank, do you mean like rank the frameworks? Rank, yeah. So what? Yeah, agentic videos. See, agentic as a concept itself is like very, I would say like quite a funny thing. I think I recently gave a talk somewhere, and as part of the talk, this was like I gave this talk in the last year end of Python meetup group, on one of the meme I actually did as part of the talk. Can you believe it? I don't have the slide, is it? Yeah. So one of the meme I did was when you like open agents, you either have like some kind of a function call, or even like JSON or something. So I think agent as a definition itself is dicey. I think that's why when I made the what is an agent video, which most likely a lot of you might not have seen because the video was not like pushed by algorithm a lot, I mentioned about the Anthropic blog post. You should definitely read that Anthropic blog post, effective agents. I might make a separate video altogether by this, but they have a very good definition. Like when you have got manual routing, they call it workflow. When you have got an automated routing, they call it AI agent. So it's a very interesting definition. So maybe I would make like actual agentic AI videos, but for now, agentic itself is a very dicey definition. But definitely like 2025, we are going to see a lot of agents. Having said that, I think today or yesterday, I don't know how many of you actually remember AutoGPT. AutoGPT was a very popular open source project. Now AutoGPT has become a company called Gumloop, and today they've raised $17 million in Series A. $17 million. It's a huge money, and it's just like their Series A. So yeah, agents probably have a strong future, and you can go read more about like why they built Gumloop, like how it started from AutoGPT as a project, and the money that they've raised, $17 million. Okay, so there's a comment about AMD 300 series, H1B visa. Yeah, my company is not going to sponsor me. Are you a programmer? I am a data scientist. That means I code in R, Python, SQL, Spark SQL. Sometimes I've done a lot of probably like 10-12 years back. I've done like e-commerce websites, PHP, WordPress. I ran a small agency. This is like long ago. I was not in India at that time, so I'm like a very crappy programmer. But at the end of the day, I code, so I'm a programmer. But I'm not like your typical software engineer who was like, I'm not on code forces. I'm not like solving computer problems or in space-time complexity. I'm not like that kind of a programmer. Quantum computing is a mood after AGI. Keep up the good work, bro. Soft tortilla. I think it's called tortilla, right? I really appreciate your regular real content without all the clickbait. I mean, I see one of the things, like if you see my very recent title, sometimes like the title is the only workflow that you have to see, the only model that you need. I mean, as a creator, sometimes I have to do that because that's exactly how YouTube will push my videos to more people. So I feel happy. I feel rewarded for the efforts. But at the end of the day, I think I want to give value. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting at 2 a.m. when my entire family is sleeping and making videos. It's a tough thing. So I hope, I honestly hope, like yeah, God willing, like I'll keep on providing value. And like I said, the next direction that I want to go is like take all the hobbyists and then see if I can turn them into like actual, like let's say AI business owners. Like even if it is like making $100 a month or $1,000 a month, but that's my something that I'm trying to do. Let's see if it goes well. What do you think about GB10? Honestly, I don't know what is GB10. I'm so sorry. Factor Factory. Is totally agree, Abdul. Quantum computing is evolving. Okay, I'll check. Hey, Abdul, is there a solution out there which will allow me to combine AI generated image, add TTS, describing the image, embed subtitles in the moving video? Hey, you can actually build it. Like back in the day, long ago, I had a tutorial about Whisper where we actually burnt the video. And honestly, like I've seen a lot of startups now doing that, and it is one of the hottest place. If you were to build a startup, I would strongly encourage you to go build it. So you don't even have to do AI generated images. You can now generate videos, 5-second clips easily, and then you can make movies out of it. So the simplest workflow that I will do is like go to file, take one of the fastest AI video model like LTXV, if I'm saying it correct, LTXV. Yeah, it's called LTXV. So you pick this model. This is like extremely fast. Make a video, or even have bunch of images. Like let's say you want to do children's story, and then give the images to some kind of like a notebook LLM, or like I made a video about Playnote. Give it to some model that will generate text out of it and audio out of it. Combine it. Take the audio, give it a Whisper. Whisper actually gives you SRT and also something called ASS, as file. It's actually called like that. ASS file. It's a form of a subtitle file, which can add colors and all these things. So you can like have the bouncy, like I don't know how many of you have seen like this TikTok video where the captions like bounce and goes. I mean, TikTok is banned in India, but just like giving an example. So you can basically create that kind of like entire video with few lines of code. So I might like probably will do one thing. Leo, but thanks for the question. Is agent the future? Like it depends what do we mean by agent, Mars buddy. But to be honest, LLM as a standalone system, I think we are going way past it. You can't make another Jasper. If you know Jasper as a company, like Jasper made a lot of money, but you can't make another Jasper. Like you can make Jasper for a small vertical, but Jasper as a company, if you make today in 2025, nobody is going to buy from you because ChatGPT, Anthropic, and all these models companies have evolved doing that. So at the end of the day, you need to have a moat, and I think vertical agents are going to be the hottest area. And like for example, agents for law, agents for like capital market, agents for bioscience, agents for let's say some other verticals. And that's honestly like I don't know if I mentioned this anywhere. Like a last couple of months back, or probably 6 months back, I applied for a venture capital, let's say like a bootcamp kind of a thing with an idea similar to this for hospitals. Of course, got rejected. But I would still say that you can push this idea. Agents vertical agents for a particular business vertical is definitely hot, or at least the lowest hanging fruit. Like if your interest is like doing research, that's a different topic altogether. But if you want to like build a solid product like a business, vertical agents are really good at this point. What would be a solution suitable? Locally I would say go with some model like Cog Video X. I don't know if you have seen, like I made a video about like how 8 different video generation models stack up, and there is a model called Cog Video X, and if you go to Cog Video X, you can most likely run it on 5090, and you should be able to do the entire thing that you said, like have a TTS, have a whisper, create subtitle, burn it on the video. Like you can use MoviePy and then burn it on the video. MoviePy is a Python package, burn it on the video, and then you will have like the actual like TikTok kind of videos. And it's honestly like one of the hottest product that people are building, like solo products. I think some product like Auto Shots, I guess Auto Shots, if I'm this guy is like making like hundreds and thousands of dollars, and we can put together this tutorial like in one day. Like we can have a video exactly what you're describing. You just go give something and it will generate the video, it will generate the audio, it will slap the caption. And honestly, like if I see Twitter, the guy who runs it, Eric Smith, is he the guy? Auto Shots. I forgot the name of the guy. See, he's making like hundreds and thousands of dollars. So definitely a good idea. Strongly you can try. Like you can do that and then bundle it with some kind of AppSumo lifetime deal. You will get a good traction. Auto GPT has honestly like become very big. Okay, I didn't expect a lot of people to join, so I don't know how many are there live at this point, but honestly, like I'm quite happy. Otherwise, I thought like I'll be. I've done like live 4 years back. Like I think probably very few people, just like 8 people or something, they were on call. So yeah, I keep on remembering those days. Blockchain plus AI. I don't know how many of you remember. I actually made a video about news research. They actually try to have some kind of a blockchain plus AI thing where benchmarks would get updated live and then you will get reward by solving it. But honestly, like it didn't take off. So this is an open area. I think there are a lot of people looking for, especially like people who are into Web3 are looking into it. But I don't know, like I'm not like a blockchain guy and never had any crypto into my account. So yeah, not a lot of idea, to be honest. But one thing would be interesting is if ever we get into a place where like you've got like thinking models, let's say, which can solve hash, I think then will be like our quantum computing, to be honest. It's a very long forward, like maybe like next 20 years, 50 years, I don't know when, or maybe 5 years. But then it'll be pretty interesting to see how blockchain or crypto as an industry would work, to be honest. If AI becomes self-aware, I don't know. Means I'm not a big fan of the philosophy or school of thought that AI is going to become self-aware. AGI doesn't mean self-aware to me. So I don't know what will happen, but it'd be pretty fun to see. At least like we all can go touch grass. Does developing agent with... No, I think you should call AA agents. Like if everybody's calling AA agent, you should call it AA agent. Like there's no harm in it. At least like you'll have like venture capitalists trying to invest money in your company. Or if you're working in a company, then you'll get like promotion and all these things. You should not call it function call. I would say you should call it AA agent. There is no harm in it. Like everybody is doing it. Like for example, like for a long time, I don't know if you have seen my channel, like probably like 2 years back, I was so hesitant to call an LLM AI. I had like so much like this principle behind it. Like I was like, it's just a text model. I'm not going to call an LLM as an AI because AI meant something else to me. But after a point, everybody started casually calling LLMs as AI. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll also call LLM as AI. So yeah, you should call it. Don't worry. As file. Yeah, I hope YouTube doesn't like ban me or something because of this. Thanks, Software. Yeah. Thank you for that. Abacus as a platform. Honestly, like I might probably do a collaboration with them. I'm not very sure about it, but Yeah, so this is again another thing, right? I don't know if you still remember like the pyramid. There, I made a video about the pyramid thing. I might have to do like a part two of it. There are a lot of things that have changed, but if I were to build a startup, I would not easily go in a place where there is like competitors like Po. If you don't know Po, Po is like a company from it's a character from Kung Fu Panda, but also like it's a Kung Fu warrior, but also a company by Quora, and they have got a like, oh my goodness, why is Google's? I just wanted their landing page. Yeah, it's here. So yeah, so they've got all these models. So this place is like extremely crowded at this point. So I don't see a lot of value in going and building something like that. But yeah, I think Abacus as a company has established itself. The founders are like honestly like the biggest growth marketer for the company. So it works for them. Yeah. Why RAG is still not production ready? RAG is, who said RAG is not production ready? RAG is honestly like production ready. It depends what do you mean by production ready. Like if you see Glean, I mean like the amount of funding that they've raised. Like I was talking to somebody just yesterday, I guess, and I was telling them that they should do this thing. They February 2024. I think they raised another fund. Yeah, 10th 2024, and they raised $260 million. $260 million at a valuation of 4.6 billion. And what do? They do RAG. It is RAG for enterprises. You take data from different sources like Confluence, Slack, maybe Jira, maybe like Google Docs, and all these things. Send it through RAG. There is an interface. That's it. I mean, maybe I'm not like egoistic to oversimplify what they're doing. They're probably doing a pretty good job, but it's something like all of us probably would have learned at this point. At least like a crappy RAG is something that we would all know to do. Maybe not like the best in the benchmark. And a lot of times for an organization, you need the crappiest version to start with. So yeah, RAG is production ready. It depends what you, yeah, why you make a video in Tamil, or you're asking me why I didn't. I used to make a couple of videos in Tamil at that point, like back in the day. But then the problem with YouTube algorithm is once you start like mixing different, one of the reason my channel never took off, unlike many other channels, is because you would see my content as like, I'm not bragging. It is just because if I make only one type of content, I'll get bored. Like next day, I'll not have the motivation to make content. So one day I'll have like stable diffusion. Another day I'll have like a simple data science project. Another day I'll have large language model. Another day I'll have classical NLP. So I've got huge variety. So YouTube algorithm doesn't push your content a lot. If you repeat the same content, you would go see a lot of channels just doing videos. Oh, don't do this with cursor. Do this with cursor. Change this with cursor. Don't do this with cursor. Don't pay for cursor. If you have like 20 videos like this, your channel is going to take off because YouTube algorithm lies that. Somehow it's very hard for me to do that because I'll be bored, and that is also the reason why I stopped making videos in Tamil, because I have like quite an international audience. So if I make a video in Tamil, it will neither be pushed to Tamil audience, and it will not be useful for others as well. So if I were to start making videos in Tamil, for people who do not know, Tamil is the language my parents speak, yeah. So I mean, at my home, like we speak mostly English, but Tamil is the language my parents speak. Like it's my mother tongue. So I used to make a lot of videos, at least like few videos in Tamil, but not anymore. Is custom GPT better than RAG? Custom GPT, the problem is it's a closed solution. I think OpenAI tried to do something with that, like kind of an app store kind of a situation, but never took off. It is good if you still like want to have your own custom GPT, but I think OpenAI even started realizing, and they created something called if you go to ChatGPT and if you're a Plus subscriber, you have something called projects, which they without any credit borrowed from Anthropic. So you can do projects than custom GPT as an end product. For personal use, you can do it, but for end product, it doesn't make sense. Like totally different comparisons, I would say. And again, like if you remember my pyramid video, then the first step is like go with prompt engineering. Then the second step is like system prompt, and the third step is like then you do RAG, then fine tuning and all these things. So yeah, RAG is better, but yeah, Skitter, a great speech to text model. Seamless, honestly, like Seamless is quite underrated. I made a video about Seamless. I recently suggested Seamless to somebody in the last 1 week. I don't remember who it was, But Seamless is amazing. I don't know if they have permissive license, but Seamless is nice. um, Zach, एक शून्य एक शून्य is 1-0 from what I know, and it's an indication of binary, or maybe like 2. 26 people are watching. That's really really nice. Yeah, that's good to know. I just wanted, like, I installed OBS today. I wanted to just, like, I'm trying to do like a weekly stream and see, if it is sustainable to do, like, just a fun collaboration. People will fake sentience. Yeah, then people will get confused, start arguing. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, I mean, the amount of influence this thing had on US election, like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of, like, discussing that kind of stuff, but it's insane. Like, people don't know a lot about it. People did not want to sell GPUs to China, and look at China. Like, they created DeepSeek, the version 3 model with less compute. I mean, necessity is always the mother of invention. So you have to do things. What do you think about data governance? Data governance is a big topic if you work in any enterprises, especially if you work in an enterprise that has got federal customers, like, governments. Data residency, data governance is a very very big topic. So what do I think about it? As a data scientist, it's a pain for me, but it is a thing. It is a thing in business. People make a lot of money through data governance. DPO stands for data privacy officer. A few years back, I was on a job. We had to build a bunch of models, and I literally, like, I'm not kidding, I had to sign on a paper to say that I will not misuse the data. That was a B2C company. So if I had done anything, it would have been a huge PR issue. Stocks would have fallen. So yeah, so I come from that background. So data governance is a big issue as a data scientist, but it is required. Data governance models, I don't have model ideas. Yeah, what meaning anything anymore? We are in the modern time. Okay, are any new startups on your radar building good ones? A lot of good startups. Like, I don't know if you're talking about anything special, but from your name, I understand, like, probably you're from India. So Compose agents. I think if you're in India, you should pay attention to. Is it Compose? AI agents. Is it Compose? I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of the company. They're together. Fund. They're invested by together. Is it Compose? A venture capitalist fund website is not working. Yeah, I'll try to figure out the company. There's one company that does a lot of good thing with agents. I've been trying to make content about them, but I think they are also, like, mostly pivoting into the direction of they're pivoting into the direction of having, like, SDR. I think SDR stands for sales something something. So I don't know. I don't know if they will stick. Yeah, Composio, cool. So yeah, they've got a lot of agent integrations. So you should definitely check out, like, especially given that you are in India. But yeah, I've not made a model. Smog. Yeah, I think Abacus has a good team. Also, another company that I respect a lot for the team is RC AI. So they've got a lot of small language models. I covered a couple of models when it was launched, but then yeah, I couldn't keep up. You love Poe, that's really good. RAG will never go away. RAG will never go away because people with with a brain and many people with money will never place faith in any AI company. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I mean, I'm quite surprised how Glean has raised a lot of fund. Like, for example, the companies that I've worked with, both B2C and B2B, I told you, like, I had to write on a white color paper, like, print it out, white color paper, that I'll not misuse the data, sign it and give it to them, to the legal department. It's not for my personal project, to the project that I'm going to work for the own company. I'm, like, on their payroll. So, I can't believe Glean, like, people started giving out their data just like that. It's surprising, but that's the power of sales in business. So maybe Skitter, you should collab with Fahad. I've spoken to Fahad once, like, a very very nice guy, very experienced guy. Honestly, like, the speed at which he puts out content, like I admire it a lot. Yeah, I'll we'll see. I have to upgrade my infrastructure to do collabs. Right now I'm in a very bad like state of infrastructure. Like as I said, like I installed OBS today, but yeah, Fahad is amazing. Like he's literally like the newsletter of AI on video, so it's quite amazing. How can we have one-on-one chat with you? I am on Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm not very good with. See, one of the reason I never created a Discord or school. I mean, probably I could have created school and charged like $7, $8, and then like made some decent income. But I never did it because I'm not a very like a messaging guy per se. So I was like, if people are paying me money and if I'm not able to respond back to them, then it should be bad. So that's why I never did it. So we can always, like, you can email it to me, onelittlecoder@gmail.com. But mostly will be slow, but I will most likely will respond back. And hey Abdul, have you played with or tried? I've played with both SageMaker and Bedrock. Bedrock as part of enterprise model, and SageMaker I did it as part of like the data science stuff. It's good, like especially if you want to build enterprise products. Like for example, let's say your company is building a product for healthcare. One of the things your client might ask is like, are you HIPAA compliant? So now your options are limited. You can't like literally go use OpenAI API easily. You either have to go to Bedrock, or you have to go to Azure, or you have to go to GCP. So yeah, if you don't want to go through the pain of Vertex, then you will automatically end up in Bedrock. Bedrock, especially given that they've got a lot of open models, like Mistral if you want to use Minecraft. Are you or someone you know face this RBI mandate with? I don't have a credit card. To be honest, that is the biggest problem for me to sign up for any new service. I have a debit card that works with. I pay for like I used to pay for Midjourney. I have not tried to pay for Anthropic because their infra is quite poor. I pay currently for OpenAI. So yeah, it should work. The debit card should work, but credit card, I think they will just ask you for like every month to do that. Somehow with the debit card it worked. So okay, what do you think about, guys? I really appreciate that you guys are giving me this super chat, like the money thing, but that is not my intention of doing live. Please don't mistake me. I am really happy that you guys are like valuing the content so much that you're ready to pay money. And in fact, like the laptop that I bought, like I really got like good contribution from a subscriber with whom I'm not in touch at this point, like anymore. Somehow we did not keep in touch, but a good, I don't know, maybe less than half, at least like 40% or like 30%. It's still good money, like $1,000 or something. Came, I don't remember exactly. So if that person is watching, I'm so sorry. I don't remember exactly. I've got a very poor memory, but that person actually gave me. He is from Germany. We got on a couple of calls. Like he really appreciated what I did. I tried to help him a couple of times, like I said, but I was quite bad at replying to emails. So I think he must have been like, this guy is useless. He took my money but never responded. But to be honest, like very nice person. So yeah, I mean this channel means a lot to me. And that is what makes me stay up in the night and do it. And that is also one of the reason, like I try to avoid creating like school kind of a thing, because I want to do as much as sponsors so that I don't have to have the urge to make money out of my subscribers. That's my objective. So and I come from like a very small village with a strong principle where education should be free. Like I had this lot of this notion. In fact, like a fun fact, like I published a course, I promoted it in one video, made like $400 totally. So it's not like I actively do a lot of things. So don't feel the need. I know a lot of, I mean, I consider myself to be like an average techie because I code, and I don't think any of you should like easily contribute money to my channel. At least like my objective is to get, it's like a business for me at this point. My objective is to get sponsors so that they pay me like good money to make 1 or 2 videos for them, and with that money I get enough motivation to keep on like churning out like good content, probably like hopefully, god willing, like build a team or something, like to do research at least. Yeah, so hopefully I can be that. What do you think about diffusion versus auto regression token prediction? It's two different approach. In fact, one of the videos that I was working on is like a new model from hurry, I'm just like forgetting everything. Cosmos, yeah. Nvidia Cosmos. So if you go to Nvidia Cosmos basically has got all these things. Um, where is it? Nvidia Cosmos for developers. So they have got both the diffusion based model. They've got a nice chart somewhere. They've got both diffusion based model and they've got autoregressive model that will fill in the text. So it's a very interesting thing. You can go to Hugging Face and use it. So probably I'll quickly make a video about it in a couple of days. Now we are in Tamil means brother. We are working on a multi-agentic LLM based framework on top of top OS, and got wow credit for our startup partnered with Microsoft. We would have to have in our team. Yeah, means I have to figure out like what I want to do. And sometime like at one point like I thought like maybe I can do YouTube full time, but then I realized like I always like this good hearts law. I think I've like probably said it in a couple of videos as well. So basically the law means that when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. I believe that about YouTube as well. I think the reason I have versatility, I mean, I'm not very popular, but the reason I have got versatility on YouTube is because I get to work on different things. The day I become full-time YouTuber, I will not get to work on different things. I'll become like a product manager. No offense, product managers make a lot of money, but so yeah, so I usually keep in mind. So I don't know if I will do something like that, but I want to like start something. So let's see. But thank you so much, Kevin, to inviting. So okay, let's address this. You are my colleague's favorite. Thank you so much. And I also love the fact that you call me AI researcher journalist. I usually find it really hard to tell people what I do. And I think like I gave a talk at Bang Pipers, like, and I think I like Bang Pipers GitHub, and I called myself an AI educator or something like that, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know if yeah. So I called myself this is my speaker by. I said an educator teaching AI to humans. This is what I call myself, but I like the AI researcher journalist. Like that's pretty good, to be honest. Like very well put. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, so that's really great to see. Yeah, Compose.io, Binecraft, your Binecraft. It's like Mycroft. Talk about drag and yeah, so rag is probably send I have to send the links. Yeah, this is my first stream. I'm sorry like if I'm not like quite familiar with this. Hopefully from the next one I'll have like better way to send links and all these things. Seen any successful app in prod using hot swapping LoRa approaches? I guess these like big companies like Replicate and Fall might be doing something like that behind the scene to avoid the cold start problem. But I've, at least from what I've spoken to consumer companies like the B2C companies, like AutoShots, this kind of company, I've not seen them doing it. But I have a feeling that cold start problem is a big problem. You don't want like a lot of boot up time. So I guess maybe people are doing something like that there. Train an AI tutor of yourself. Yeah, so a lot of people like have problem with my accent. So sometimes people come and say that why don't you use a TTS to actually convert your speech into. I just tell people that the happiness for me is this is my original version. I mean, I'm not going to like wear jacket and glass all the time. That's not the thing. But this is what I am. So if I train a tutor of myself and then if it is going to make a video, maybe it's good. Like if I want to scale like multiple platforms, Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, that's not the originality of me. So yeah, maybe in the future. 32 people, that's very good. It is very difficult to make an AI agent without domain expertise from domain. That is exactly the point. I think one of the easiest ways to probably build a startup, I would say, is you go to some vertical and talk to somebody like a doctor and then tell the doctor, okay, doctor, all I will do is like I'll create a voice agent for you. You pay me like $100 a month. I will take care of infra. I will take care of maintenance. I'll do something. I'm throwing $100. You don't have to charge 100. You can charge 1,000, 2,000 easily. And you can go to like a lot of companies and like for example, one of the company, I'll give you an example, Play.ai. and you can just go create an enterprise agent here and then deploy it for the doctor, and then you just do the management, and that's it. You find like 5 clients like this. If somebody's paying like $1,000 to you, 5 people are like $5,000, and it shouldn't be like really really difficult. I mean, at least for people who are in India, you know that a lot of services are still IVR based services, and they pay cost for that as well, and they're not really good. And if you have worked in customer support, you know that there is L1, L2, L3, L4. So you can easily create. I don't know. I have a deja vu that I spoke about this to somebody recently. You can create an L5 and literally keep AI agents for this, like for the stupidest question that people would ask. And that's it. You deploy it, and you don't need to go to like big companies. It depends upon like what's your objective is. But if you want like smaller ones, go to some doctor who doesn't have a website. I mean, this is exactly what I did probably like 12 years back. I used to work in Dubai. I used to walk around in the street, and I used to go to the shop and then say, hey, you don't have that time. People didn't even have a website. I used to go tell them, do you want a website? I can build a website. I build a website, put it on WordPress, give them the cPanel access, and then meet them next year. I think this is something that you can do with AI a lot. And it's not a lot of people are doing. Either big agencies are doing, or like freelancers are doing. There is like nothing in between. It's a really good vacuum that you can go fill in, especially with vertical agents. And you can take a bunch of our tutorials and then do this thing. You don't, I mean, that's honestly like why I run this channel, so that people can, like make money. So yeah, it's very easy. You should do, and you should talk to somebody from that domain. Like otherwise, we both will be talking each other like like either techies, or we'll have no clue what those people want. So we should talk to them, build it for them. That's it. Deploy it and maintain it. Okay, why do we program in Python with AI? In the 80s, I used assembly to I studied 8085, 8086 in my university. Probably, I don't know how much I scored. We had a paper called computer architecture, so we studied both 8085, like literally drawing 8085 with scale. I by education, I'm a computer science engineer, but not a great programmer. Much more efficient. Can't LLMs just compile down? I think this is honestly like one of the things that people are trying to do with LLMs as well. Like, can you use LLMs like coding assistants to translate into like some fundamental language? And we have seen what Llama CPP enable, like Ollama, LM Studio, Jan, anything. All these things exist only because there is like this one man created Llama CPP. I mean, I'm not like usually like glorification of one man, but the credit where it is due. This one man, oh my goodness, this one man, his name is Greg, GG, his name is. That is why you have GGUF, because this man created. This is the GG of his name, Georgy Jerganov. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So that, and we can see like the kind of improvements that Python to C++ stack had. So that is still, and nowadays people are quite interested in CUDA programming. There is a very popular YouTuber. I don't get a lot of time to spend on CUDA programming, to be honest. Like I said, like I have a job, family, making content and all these things. But if you are interested in like low-level programming, and for people who do not know low-level programming, you should, low-level programming is like the language that has the highest efficiency, speak to the computer architecture like easier. I used to try to do Julia. For people who are in data science, Julia. So Umar Jamil. So this guy has got like amazing content. I think he has got CUDA content as well. I don't know if he has got CUDA content, but if you are talking about assembly, like low level language, you should definitely go check out this content. Like I said, like I don't get a lot of time, but if there is one area that I want to go learn outside of everything that we cover on this channel, and I have like zero coverage on this, I would go learn CUDA programming, or I would actually start C++ again today if you are a programmer. And I will see what all things that I can translate. And we have seen like from Andrei Karpathy's GPT, Nano CPP, Nano GPT, sorry. We have seen multiple projects where a CPP still rules, and for 99% of people, they wouldn't need it because honestly, their job wouldn't demand it. But if you are like that much interested, you're like a math whiz, you like coding, then I think you should do it. Skitter B Unibro, thanks for asking. Don't forget to like. Would you consider a startup offer? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It depends. Like, I live in a place where I pay a lot of rent, so I need to make money. So that's one of the reason I told you. Like, one of the reason I resisted doing school or a kind of community is also because, like I said, right, philosophically, I wanted to make money from companies, not from audience. Let's see how it goes, but I don't know. Offers. I have a job. Hopefully, if somebody from my company watches this, they'll be like, "What the heck is this guy doing?" But yeah, I have a job. Maybe I'll try to do something. I'm going to again apply for the VC startup that I said. Like it's an agent idea for hospitals. I believe there is potential in it. Yeah, but I don't even know personally if I'm ready to actually do a startup, because if I do startup, like I can't spend time with my family. I can't do YouTube. It's going to be quite hectic, and for the first 3 months they're not going to pay me anything. Like they want me to like do the bootcamp thing, and then they will give me like 250K or something. So it's a lot of unknowns. Hey, I'm thinking to learn Pydantic AI. I would, yeah, if there is one agent framework that you want to start with, generally I would not suggest any agent framework, but LangGraph is really good. I mean, for people who are hardcore programmers. If you're like me, you can go with Crew AI. Let's say, half-baked programmer. But if you're really good, you should go with like LangGraph. But if you are to do it now, I would say Pydantic is like good place to start with. But the problem is Pydantic is like quite early. The API tends to change a lot. I remember like back in the LangChain day, I would make a tutorial, I'll publish it. And I don't know how many of you actually remember like the Llama index library that we see today. It was not called Llama index. It was called GPT index. And I think they got worried like when OpenAI trademark GPT, they changed the name. And I had tutorials when it was called GPT index, and a lot of people are like, hey, this is not working, this is not working. So the API tends to change a lot. So when you learn Pydantic, you should like learn with that thing in mindset. But a small agent is like another good project from Hugging Face. I'm hopefully working on a video tutorial there. But yeah, Pydantic is like good place to start with. And otherwise, I would say go with LangGraph. But even before getting into any agentic framework, I would say like use ChatGPT and write a raw code. Just describe what you want. Go to ChatGPT and then say that, okay, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Like, for example, if you're going to do an agent, what maximum you're going to do? You're going to use, let's say you want to do something like Perplexity. What do you want to do? You want to use some kind of a search plugin like Google or DuckDuckGo, or you can use like Excel app, something. And you want an LLM to retrieve it, process it, probably re-rank it, cite it, give the result. Now describe this and give the plugins, and then ask ChatGPT code. See the code, and then you can get into, because once you get into the abstraction of things, and I've seen it with the deep learning. So I don't, again, like I'm digressing a lot, but back in the day, like 4 years back, deep learning means like PyTorch or TensorFlow. But then TensorFlow people started using Keras. Now, a lot of people who use Keras never know TensorFlow. Now, TensorFlow and Keras itself had like a lot of this imbalance. And it started creating a lot of trouble for a lot of people. Maybe Keras fanboys will not accept it. That is one of the reasons PyTorch, without any kind of an issue, started growing. But FastAI, if you see Jeremy Howard, like they created a framework on top of PyTorch called Fast.ai. Now, people who use Fast.ai also did not easily move to PyTorch. Then a lot of people settled with PyTorch. So the point is, like, once you start getting into abstraction at the start itself, it's very hard for you to understand the logics. You can always understand the logics later. You can always go to abstraction later, but start with logic. So I would say use ChatGPT or Claude, the free version. Give you a problem, ask it to code in Python. Then you take like LangGraph, Crew AI, and then compare it and then see. So that will be like easy for you to productionize. If you're just trying to like do a hobby project or like a batch processing, not a production ready code, then you can use any of this: Crew AI, LangGraph, small agents. Okay, I might have to stop the stream. I don't know how many of you are watching, but I might have to stop it in like probably 10-15 minutes. Otherwise the sound I'm making, like probably my neighbors will start complaining. It's 2:40 a.m. here. Anna, your versatile is what we need, and for the individual side, we have a great team. We are IIT Madras. That's great. We love for you to mentor us initially. It'd be great help. Please email it to me. We can see. Like I said, any commitment that I take, I take it only if I can actually provide some value. Otherwise, I'm a liability. I mean, the basic economics of life. So let's see if I can actually add value. Yeah, I'll be happy to. How old are you, sir? Like 97. No, I'm 35. Probably going to be 35 soon. So if I can make, I always tell my wife that my retirement plan is making YouTube videos. So if I can do that, it'll be nice. I don't think the way I'm sleeping, I'll live until 97. That'll be like a medical miracle. But yeah, thank you. Actually, we created a customer support using SIP and oh, that's nice. SIP and IPPBX. These are like the telephonic protocol, right? Like the communication, I guess. I mean, if you want to do the basic, I think you can buy a phone number in Twilio and then slap it, connect it together, and then do it. 64 actually born in the year of RAT. I don't know what is RAT. Yeah, respect, sir. Thank you. 64-bit. Okay, 64-bit architecture. Nice. Guru late. Aitu hogi malko. Yeah, I have to go sleep. LangChain set AI dev. See, I have good respect for LangChain team. I probably made one video where I explained like a Reddit thread. I have a good, I don't know what to say, like good opinion. I think they have good opinion, a good way of seeing things. I have a problem with generally open source libraries raising a lot of fund and then trying to figure out how to make money. I think LangChain probably realized LangGraph is their world. So LangChain I think came with good intention. It enabled a lot of people, but yeah, it is what it is. Pydantic, the easiest thing for Pydantic is they have an existing stack. They've got an observability platform. Pydantic has also raised a lot of fund. So you never know if they will end up in the same thing, but I think they're highly opinionated. So maybe they will not mess up with their API a lot. Can you guide on creating an AI employee using AutoGen for coding enterprise code bid? See, AI employee is good at YouTube video tutorial. Like I can probably say, oh, I have 100 AI employees working on a $100 million idea. Like it's a very good title. I will get a lot of views. But you should think in terms of practicality. So you can't say somebody as an AI employee unless you know what the employee is supposed to do. For example, if there is somebody in the company who is just doing financial planning analysis, FPA, which is quite a popular thing in FinOps, I can do that. I can take the spreadsheet, convert it into CSV, take the CSV, give it to a system, do this FPA, get the report back, put it in a PDF. I can probably automate that. And that's what we will call now an AI agent. But you can't like generally go say an AI employee. So maybe I think like if we have like slightly more niche roles and use cases, we should be able to do. I've seen a lot of CAG, to be honest. Problem with GraphRag, expensive, high latency, which people don't like to see on a RAG solution. I've been talking about Glean. If you have used Glean, you know that it's not slow. If it is slow, people will not use it. As simple as possible with any search. So CAG is faster than GraphRag from what I've seen, but I think the classical RAG, or even I think the better way of doing RAG is like something like what Anthropic did with contextual RAG, and spend a lot more time in the retrieval part. I think that is like good enough if you're like going with a good solution, production-based solution, than like going with a totally new framework. Pydantic also respects Python API instead of reinventing something. Yeah, that is honestly like the best thing about Pydantic, I think. And given that Pydantic has that say in the market, like how, like they brought the type thing to Python. I don't know if they brought the type thing to Python, but if people want to like make Python slightly like a static programming language, then people started using Pydantic, started solving a lot of production exceptions, errors. So I think they have got the credibility in the market to come and then not like disrupt, but add like a really tremendous value that will be useful in production level use cases. So probably there is something with Pydantic that we can do. Cool. So we have got I didn't expect like a lot of these comments. I actually had like a couple of papers to discuss. So I had like one thing called SWE fixer, SWE bench update. I had a bunch of things, but I don't think we will do it. For the meetup, bro, in Tamil Nadu, I'm not sure. Like, I've given talks, but meetup is like slightly more. Maybe we'll see, like if there is like something happening, we can try. I've not done anything in Bangalore also. Like the one that I'm doing as Pi Data is like Pi Data Bangalore. That's like an organization I've been part of quite a while. So we're trying to like, I used to do it before COVID, but now after COVID, like I became quite lazy, and maybe my family is too fed up with me at staying at home all the time. So I'm trying to, okay, maybe get out one Saturday and do it. Not sure. Like we have announced only one meetup. What's the job market for entry AI engineers? I think it's pretty good. A lot of I think AI engineer as a title is becoming like what data scientist is. My biggest gripe with data scientist is like nobody knows what to do with the data scientist. Everybody has a different definition. It's like, you know how I think there is like a parable or something where people say that 5 blind people try to describe what an elephant is, and everybody described elephant based on what they touched. Data science ended up becoming like that. I'm not sure if AI engineering will end up like that, because a lot of company job description, if you go see, they want an AI engineer who knows to build a model, who knows to fine tune a model, who knows LangChain, who knows this, who knows that. Then they want them to know Java also. Then they want them to handle ML ops also. Then they want them to know like ML algorithms. I'm like, bro, what do you actually want to do? Like hire somebody for that. So I think AI engineer at this point is like quite a vague, dicey title. So if anybody is like fresher, I would say focus on computer science engineering more than any of the things that we talk on the channel. Like I'm like anti-advertising for this channel, but get your solids for fundamentals like really solid, then you can pick up anything. And NSWE, software engineer plus, is, let's say, plus AI plus data science plus ML ops plus some XYZ, is always better than, I'm like an AI engineer. If all you know is to do like a RAG with LangChain, and somebody has got a code that is like object oriented programming, let's say Python with class and all these things, you don't have any clue, and you are not putting effort in, let's say, sending that code to even open a chat GPT and then understanding the code, then it'll be very hard for you to sustain the next 3-4 years, because we have no clue how the industry is going to change. Like people are coding with voice now. So I would say like you should get your fundamentals correct. I'm not saying everybody should become a computer science engineer. Even I am a very terrible computer science engineer, but I would say that you should have some fundamentals, like what is a programming language, when do I have to use loop, when do I not have to use loop, what is batch processing, what is an API, what is an error message, what is the status code. I think these fundamentals are required before even you dive into the AI part of it. And then, yeah, I mean, any AI thing is like people like me, like, Sam with even like a really solid channel. People like Sam, me, Fahad, we all make videos so that people can easily take code or learn something. So there is no art in this, whatever we do, because it's like simple bunch of copy paste. I mean, I'm not diminishing me or fellow YouTubers. I'm just saying that it's easy task. I think where art comes in is like how you can take this and make something valuable out of it. And for that, one, you need to have good fundamentals, whether it is in business or computer science or programming. And two, you need to have that experimental behavior. So I would say if you look for entry, a job market is good, but I think it depends like what you bring to the table, not just like bunch of libraries there. Angry about LangChain. Yeah. I know. I mean, like Zach. Yeah. This is life. This is venture capitalist. Software. Yeah. I heard good things about DSPy too. Yes. If I have got a very big regret in the last 6 months, something that I have not covered as much as I wanted to cover, that is DSPy. But also as a problem, like I felt like DSPy increases. They do a lot of prompt. I think there is one more library also called TextGrad. Yeah, TextGrad. I even like was planning to get. There was an Apple engineer I knew at the time. I mean, engineer who was working for Apple, who was doing this as part of their job. So I was planning to get them on a podcast and then see how they do. I just felt like, one, it is like too niche, and two, it is like I still could not easily find out the value that it brings to me. Like, what is the delta? Like, is it taking me from 95% to 98%? Like, it is, at the end of the day, it feels for me like something like Kaggle, where people would optimize machine learning models even for the 0.005 just to, go up in the leaderboard. So yeah, that's one. But I regret not making DSPy videos a lot. And I also regret, I know a lot of you like actually news videos, But every time I make a news video, like just reading a press release, I actually regret, because like I said, right, you can just literally take me out and then put a TTS there, and then it will do the job. Like, you don't need me. And that's why sometimes I try to make, like, I always tell people, like, when I talk, I have like 3 levels of video. One is like the basic press release, it's like just literally news. The second level is where just a basic tutorial how to use something, and the third level is like the actual use case. Like recently I had a virtual try on video. So the third level is where I expect people to take that and turn it into a business idea, which I've seen like a couple of people doing before, like with the Whisper, Stable Diffusion. But that is also the videos that make less views. But honestly, like for me, if I have to consider myself to be like an engineer, that is where I actually feel like an engineer. But otherwise, I just feel like, I'm just like everybody else, like TikTok creator or YouTube creator. I'm just like reading good stuff. So yeah, hopefully I can add some value there, like what people are doing, and stuff like DSPy, text grad, auto differentiation. That's right. Thank you, Software Tia, for the kind words. I'm going to just see how many people are okay. There are 32 concurrent viewers, so I've got 250 views. That's really good, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and I'm hoping to do something like this probably like Friday night or Saturday night or Sunday night. I don't want to do Sunday. I don't know how many of you are here, like have family, I usually like not to do a lot of tech stuff on Saturday, Sunday. I mean, like I have a YouTube channel I have to do, but still like, spend time with family. So that is one thing. Just before I close the stream, one thing that I wanted to actually share is, I don't know if you have seen my, the video where I show the pyramid. I don't know if I still have the video. No, what am I? Yeah, I do a lot of workshop as well, like paid workshop for companies. So this is all for that. But one thing, yeah, I think the video name is like the only video AI engineer, something like this. I had a video. AI engineer, one little coder. Yeah, so this video. So if you see this video, like I would have spoken about like different stack and all these things. Honestly, like the ecosystem has evolved. So if there is like one leaving parting thoughts, not parting thoughts, like unless I die today, there is one parting thoughts that I want to leave you with is, there is a new concept called memory as a service, which is becoming very popular, because that is one thing that people actually miss a lot. I've made videos about Mem0 before. Mem0 now became a company now. So this is like the memory layer for your AI agent. We had done a podcast or tutorial with the MemGPT guys. Now MemGPT also became a company. If I remember, they've got a company name. And if you were to spend one area where you want to do something, like I've seen like a lot of good comments like about assembly language, DSPy, and Zach was talking about LangChain. And like if you guys are like interested in doing something, I would say strongly encourage you to think about like memory as a service kind of a concept. I think there is a very good market interest there. It could become like a vertical based memory, or it could become like a profile based memory, or it could become like an LLM based. There are like different ways you can sell this. No, is this based on knowledge graph? I mean, that's up to you. Like, how do you want to enable the relations? I've got the MemGPT video. You can search my the MemGPT creators actually showed a video, like did a tutorial on my channel. But yeah, if there is one place you want to spend some time on that particular stack that I showed you, like LLMs and all these things, I would strongly encourage you to think about memory as a layer and as a service. It seems like there is a good interest, both from investors and also from developers. So that's one thing that I wanted to say. Amir, what are your thoughts on LangFlow? LangFlow is really good. I love LangFlow, and I think LangFlow has been acquired by I'm again forgetting a lot. LangFlow has been acquired by, oh my goodness, I forget this company. LangFlow has been acquired by a company. I forgot the name. The company that had a lot of Apache guys. So I like LangFlow. It's good. But yeah, so again, like it depends like what you want to do. How data stacks. Thank you, Amir. Thank you. Yeah, data stacks. It was acquired by data stacks. And whenever something like this happens, you start. I mean, I was a big fan of Streamlit until Streamlit got acquired by Snowflake. So it's a different world altogether. So how long this has been going? I don't know. Maybe 1 hour. Oh, we've crossed 1 hour. That's surprising. I must have started before 2 o'clock. So I have to probably MemGPT. But yeah, I think so because they were saving stuff. Yeah, see, that is exactly right. Now there is no memory option. Every time session is closed, people are going and storing it in a markdown file. A new session starts, they're loading it from there, and you've got to now handle context window. And sometimes you just don't need like a simple text file. You like somebody said like you can build like a knowledge graph, extract important information. How do you override stuff? Maybe today I'm saying like I like chicken biryani. Tomorrow maybe I'm saying I like mutton biryani. How do you override that? There are a lot of interesting things to be solved there, and sometimes you can go ahead with the simplest solution also, and then like get some funding. Or if you want solo builder, like open source project, build a community, sell the enterprise version, what Hugging Face is doing. I think the place is really good. MGPT has a full range. They're still collecting themselves. Very promising. Yeah. See, I'm not saying all the memory as a service is like really good at this point. Sometimes, like, the Rockstar said, you can just keep a simple text file and do it. That will do the job. And that's what a lot of people do with Cursor. So they write what Cursor did previously, store it in a file, retrieve it next time so that, Cursor is not messing up everything. But the point here is that, like, how do you do it? Vinayak. So for people who do not know Vinayak and I used to organize meetup. Vinayak is the founder of PyData Bangalore, I would say, creator. Vinayak is not living in India, I guess, at this point. But Vinayak and I used to do a lot of meetups many years ago, like probably COVID. And Vinayak is also Vinayak has created this. I even told this to somebody last week. Vinayak has created one of the popular libraries that has like really good use case. It's called Camelot, and it's for extracting tables. I don't know how many of you have worked with government data, but in India, if you work with government data, most of them are like in PDF. You need to extract tables out of it, even to get the basic chart out of it. And Vinayak was one of the main creators of this library. So Vinayak, thank you for joining. Like. நான் மெயில் பண்ணிக்கிறேன், செக் பண்ணுங்கள். ஓகே, மை கம்பெனி இஸ் யூசிங் GPT-4 and I'm thinking to recommend DeepSeek for saving costs. See, the problem with DeepSeek is, again, it's from China. It's like using Huawei phone in your company. So yeah, everybody has their own reserve thoughts. And I would say, like, if you are like a company, you should try to see, can you self-host a model and then start logging data. What your company employees are chatting with that. So now you will have data. I think a lot of companies do it with OpenAI as well. They create like a gateway and then see what their employees are chatting with. Because now you don't want to give that data only to OpenAI, even though OpenAI says that they're not going to train with your data. You want to log that and then use it probably for future, like fine-tuning a lot of other places. Or at least if somebody is releasing your secrets, like secret tokens, you should be able to attack it. So that's good. Thank you, Vinayak. Hopefully. It's a small world. Hey Praj, MCP plus memory layer. I've not spent a lot of time with MCP. Again, another regret. There are a lot of regrets. I've been trying to follow Jeff Bezos' regret minimization framework, but I'm just adding new regrets to it. But yeah, MCP is something that I've not spent a lot of time. Memory layer, I would say, like, if you're trying to build something, you shouldn't go in a lot of different directions. Just do one thing, like either memory layer or agents for one vertical, or creating a framework for multi-agent, or go with a server like MCP. So pick one thing and then do that. That will probably give you more guidance, get people of similar interest. Otherwise it will become like my channel. Like, you've got a lot of different varieties. And I mean, like in India, we have a food called thali, which is like basically like combination of different food items. And not a lot of people actually like it. It's like once in a time people go eat thali. Like, they're not going to eat thali every single day. So you want to create something that people will want to use every single day. So that means, like, you can invite also people like that. Not like, one day, once in a lifetime gourmet meal. I mean, yeah, you can be like Gordon Ramsay and create Hell's Kitchen. but that's a different topic altogether. Okay, your thoughts on agentic system that can set alarm for itself to wake up and continue working in terms of chatting with human workers. Sorry, your thoughts on agentic system that can set an alarm. Why do you want agentic system to set an alarm? You don't want it to sleep even, in fact, right? Like, why do you want it to set an alarm instead of chatting with human workers? I think that is honestly like we have covered this like multiple times on this channel, like the study from this is still one of the things. Yeah, I think if I see video, I don't know if my video is there. This is one of the thing that still intrigues me, and I was discussing about startup ideas with somebody. I don't remember honestly. Like, if that person is watching, I am really sorry. Like, couple of days back, I was discussing a startup idea. One of the easiest startup idea that you can expand on is like to do something like this for market research. Like imagine you are like a PlayStation a gaming studio. You are going to launch a new game. You want to figure out like how the game is going to perform, but you typically go to a market research company like Nielsen or somebody. Now, what is Nielsen going to do? Nielsen is going to create a profile. They're going to go to a bunch of people and then hire them, put them in a room, focus group, and discuss. I don't know how many of you have seen Silicon Valley. If you have seen the Silicon Valley series, you would see something like this. But what you can do now is you can create profile of them, create them like this, let them talk to each other about it, and then see what the result is coming. I think this is a good idea. I don't know why not a lot of people are exploring it. Honestly, like something that I would love to explore it myself. And I remember I created a video tutorial as well based on Pinocchio. So Pinocchio has this thing somewhere, agents. Yeah, Pinocchio has that particular thing. I have a video where you can create different profiles, like simply like an Excel sheet, and then make them talk. I guess that is like something that people should try. Like you can do a lot of things that market research is a place people pay a lot of money. So there is like a strong potential there. You can explore a lot of social science. I listen to a podcast that is called Hidden Brain. That is about like the social science, behavioral economic, that kind of stuff. So you can explore a lot of these kind of human patterns with agents. When I mean agents, like really like a profile, and you give a persona to it, and it will be pretty interesting, to be honest. Like if you were to create some startup like this, market research for this thing. Yeah, agentic system was, yeah, I get it. Like Praj, a lot of people are trying to do similar kind of stuff. To have like a third team member. Like it started already with Zoom calls, like Google Meet calls, and then doing it. And yeah, I think it's just something like you need to figure out how do you want it to operate, like what kind of access it has to get. I have a feeling like maybe Glean might naturally go into that particular direction, where you take Glean data and then create agents out of it. But yeah, such as me open source coder. Okay. Interact. I don't think there is anything open source like Hagen at this point. How to read research paper as a fresher. I've done a lot of paper videos. If you see my paper videos, you will one thing that I'm completely useless guy to do a paper video. Not like 2-minute papers, not to that caliber. But also when I do paper videos, my intention is to take somebody like me and make them read papers. And I would say like the first place that you should start with is go to Hugging Face Daily Papers. And Hugging Face Daily Papers. And this is like the first starting point, the easiest starting point that you should have. And you can like learn a lot. Pick the simplest paper and see what people are discussing. Send the paper to Claude or OpenAI, and then ask it to explain, like, you're a high school student. It works extremely well. Added by IPy, which is to your TTS notebook at the end. Okay, I have to check the TTS notebook. Pug Shukriya for your work. That is all. Thank you so much. What are your top? Thank you so much, to Bob Club. I think to Bob Club, if I remember, like is one of the few. I don't know if it is this account. I don't know. I've received like criticisms, but like constructive criticism. I've always loved feedback when if somebody comes and tells me, hey, your accent is shit, like I can't do anything about it. Like I've tried my best, like doing my accent better, but I can't. But there are like certain people who come and actually, criticize me, but give me like constructive feedback that will make me like a better content creator or engineer. So I appreciate it. If it is too Bob, I'm not sure if exactly the same profile. What are the 3 top Gen AI tools that you're currently using? I use ChatGPT almost. 2-minute paper has grown, I think, beyond like what it was supposed to do. I guess, like, honestly, like, I wouldn't complain, but that is what it is. Yeah, I see a lot of Nvidia papers there. Top 3 Gen AI tools. I use a lot of ChatGPT for stupidest things that you can imagine in life. Like if I'm consulting a doctor is giving me a prescription, and yeah, I will ask, like, is this good? Is this bad? Is this good? So I do a lot of ChatGPT, and I do a lot of YouTube. Like for example, if there's a tough concept, like for example, transformers, I have to explain. I have conversation with ChatGPT to find the easiest way to explain it to people so that people understand. And yeah, so ChatGPT is probably my biggest tool. I use FAL a lot these days. I used to use Replicate, but FAL a lot these days, just because they've got like a really wide range of APIs for me to try. It's not sponsored; they just give me some credit, but nothing. I've never done any sponsored with them. Like never got money from them. Just saying, like they've got like a really wide variety of models, and if there is any other tool, I use Google AI Studio a lot, primarily for the context window multimedia processing. So probably these are the, I think, 3. 2, Bob, I really appreciate it. A lot of people come and say that you are shit, and they just leave, and very few people actually explain why I'm shit. And yeah, so I appreciate when people actually give me the reason, so that helps me fix things. Recently, web UI released top of it browser use. I think, yeah, see, another thing is, right, browser use as a concept is becoming popular. I don't know how many of you know, Arc decided to leave Arc, or probably like create another browser. Arc itself came as an alternative browser, but Arc is deciding to create another browser. So browser use is a concept that is becoming interesting. I'm a little paranoid to give complete browser use to an agent. Yeah, because I'm paranoid. But I think it is going to help in a lot of. I don't know how many of you know UiPath. UiPath as a company literally exists because of these kind of tasks only. Like I've done a lot of like Selenium back in the day, coding with Python, not with Java as well. I think UiPath's stock is like year to date. Yeah, you can see the drop. So so automation, browser automation is definitely like one thing that a lot of people are going to do, and we are going to see incumbents being taken over by AI based solutions. Okay, I love One Little Coder. Thank you so much. When I created this name, like I never thought anybody would actually mention this name correctly. Like so very happy that people are actually calling it One Little Coder. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, like for joining the first. If you are a UiPath employee, please don't mistake me. But thank you so much for joining the first stream. I never anticipated so many people would join. I'm very happy, and hopefully I can keep something recursive so that we can have a chat. Like this time I try to do like a news plus paper, but maybe next time we can just take one topic, just like spar with each other, and then do something. And hopefully in the future, maybe like we can have like a group chat. Like we can see like if we can do something with Zoom or something. Yeah, let's see how it goes. But for now, like Vinayak said, I have to probably go sleep, I think. I don't know if I'll get immediately sleep because of this laptop light and all these things. But thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. And Vinayak, so nice to see you here. It's an honor to see you here, Vinayak. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. I'm going to figure out how to stop the stream.